As we look at the image on the screen, you will see the elected officials assignment as you can download it off of the internet. A couple of things I want you to be familiar with when it comes to this assignment is, first of all, I want you to be familiar with the reason that I assigned this. The first thing I want you to realize is that many students struggle with the fact that they have a group of individuals that represent them at the federal level, and then they have a completely different group of people who represent them at the state level. We've talked somewhat about this before. And this assignment is first and foremost designed to show you that by having you go out and find the names of the people that represent you at the national level and the names of some people that represent you at the state level. And as we go through this assignment, if we were to scroll down, you will notice a couple of things. I ask you for the U.S. Secretary of State. And then if we scroll down further, you'll notice that I ask you for your state Secretary of State. I also ask you here for your state Attorney General. Then as we go up, I also ask you for the U.S. Attorney General. I do this because I want you to realize that there are a group of men and women that have the same exact title, Attorney General. One represents you at the state level, and one represents you at the federal level. That's part of the reason I do this. Okay? Another reason that I give this assignment is because I want you to go out and find the particular names of the people that fill each of these positions. Now you need to understand that I realize that in a couple of years a lot of these names are going to change. So the idea behind this assignment is not so much that you go out and find the name of the person that represents you in these offices and memorize that name. What I want you to be able to do is to figure out and know how to go find who the U.S. Secretary of State is, or who your state Attorney General is, or who your state representative is. So that in future years, if something comes up in your life that is a state issue and you need to contact your state representative, that person's name's probably going to have changed. It's going to be a different person. But hopefully from this assignment, you have remembered and figured out where you go to find out who that person is. When looking for the people that represent you, I want you to take a close look at the directions here. What I want you to do is provide the information for the elected official for the district you consider your permanent home. So if you are originally from Cape Girardeau, then you use Cape Girardeau. If you are from St. Louis, then you have to make a decision. If you were to vote today, if the election was to be held today, would you stay here in Cape Girardeau and vote in the local elections, or would you go back to St. Louis and vote in those local elections? If you would go back to St. Louis, then I want you to use that place and that zip code +4 as your permanent home. If you would stay in Cape Girardeau and vote here, I want you to use Cape Girardeau and zip code +4 for you right here. Now, if you're a foreign student, my suggestion for you is that you just use Cape Girardeau as your zip code +4 or your permanent home for this assignment. Make sure you contact me if you have any questions concerning this map. As we look at the assignment, there are several things I want to highlight for you. The first thing that I want to highlight for you is this area right here where I ask for your zip code +4. Understand that I need the zip code +4, not just the zip code or not just the +4. I need both of them because as we look at who your U.S. representatives are, who your state senators are, and who your state representatives are, sometimes towns can be split in half. So you could maybe live in Kelso, Missouri, and live on one side of town and you're represented by one person. If you live on the other side of town, you might be represented by a completely different person. So make sure that you follow these these links, I'm sorry. Make sure you follow these links to find out exactly what your zip code +4 is. Because if you simply give me your zip code, I'm not going to be able to effectively grade this this assignment. And if you simply just give me the +4, I definitely will not be able to grade this assignment. Now also make sure that you'll realize that you'll need to find 3 pieces of information for each of these individuals. And the directions up here tell you what to do. After you've clicked on a spot and you've typed in the correct answer, after all of these blanks are full, then all you simply do is you save this as a PDF file and submit this assignment via the Dropbox. Okay? Now there's a couple of things on here that I want you to be aware of. I use some language here, particularly the word constituency, in a very specific manner in this assignment. The word constituency can be used in different ways depending on the context it's being used. Now what I want you to realize is that constituency for this exam, constituency for this assignment, is simply the geographic region which a person represents. And we have to be careful because sometimes we use the word constituency to refer to people that would vote for a person. The President of the United States, for example, his constituency is the whole United States, not just voters in the United States, because I have a 3-year-old grandson who's not old enough to vote, but the President of the United States still represents that person. So make sure you understand that when we're talking about constituency, we are talking about the geographic region in which they represent. Most of the answers for this assignment is going to be a larger geographic region, like either the whole United States or the whole state, but there's going to be a handful of them where you can find a specific district number for them. So if there is a district for them, that's their constituency. The people of the first Missouri Senatorial District, or the people of the 83rd Missouri State Representative District. That would be an example of a constituency. Now another thing that students sometimes struggle a little bit with on this assignment is finding the party. I understand that for some of these people you're going to have a hard time clearly identifying which party they belong to. All I'm going to tell you is that I want you to struggle with some of these. Okay? I want you to have to try and figure it out. And then the final thing that I want you to be aware of here is some of these people will have more than one constituency. For example, if I am the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, my constituency could be the whole U.S., because as Speaker I'm representing the whole United States. It could be my party, because my party is the one that elects me to be Speaker. Or my constituency could be the district from which I'm elected, like the 8th Congressional District of Missouri or the 9th Congressional District of California. And those individuals, there's 3 of them, that could have multiple constituencies. The constitutional leader of the U.S. House, the political leader of the U.S. House, and the Speaker of your state house. Those 3 individuals could have more than one constituency. I want you to think about that. Now, there is one final thing. I know I said there was one final thing before, but this really is the final thing. Make sure you take a look at the way that I use these words. Constitutional leader of the House and political leader of the U.S. Senate. You need to understand that there's a difference between the constitutional leader and the political leader. Constitutional leader is the person that the U.S. Constitution says will be in charge. The political leader is the person that the political party says will be in charge. Okay? Make sure you work on this thing early. If you have questions, email me. But do keep in mind that if you email me, I'm not simply going to email you back with the correct answer. I'm going to email you back with some suggestions on how and where you could find the correct answer. Make sure you start working on this early and get any questions to me via email as quick as possible. If I get emails from people the night before this assignment is due, I'm probably just simply going to email you back saying, I don't have time to answer your question. And I'm not saying that, I'm not doing that to try and be, a horse's ass. I'm just saying that because you wait till the last minute and you're going to have problems. And I can't encourage people. Cannot encourage people to wait till the last minute. Good luck, and email me if you have any questions.